Have you ever imagined what you would do if, in a quiet moment when you're completely alone, you suddenly felt a tightening in your chest and realized you might be having a heart attack? It's a haunting thought, one most of us prefer not to contemplate, yet it happens more often than we realize. We like to believe there will be someone, a neighbor, a friend, a passerby, who will see us go down and spring into action. We assume that even if we're alone, we'll have enough time to think clearly and get help. But the reality is that the first few minutes of a heart attack are the most critical, and those precious moments easily slip away if you don't know exactly what to do. The good news is that you don't need medical training or complex gadgets to significantly increase your chances of survival. You simply need to be prepared, calm, and decisive. Picture yourself sitting quietly. Maybe you're reading the morning paper or enjoy your first cup of coffee when you notice an odd sensation creeping into your chest. It could start as a subtle pressure beneath your sternum or a mild squeezing that you initially dismiss as indigestion. Perhaps, like Richard at 74, you feel an uncharacteristic tightness under your collarbone that seems more insistent than a typical bout of heartburn. You might even experience shortness of breath, as if you've climbed a steep hill even though you've been sitting still. Your palms grow damp, a cold sweat beads on your forehead, and a wave of nausea threatens to overwhelm you. In that instant, your body is whispering, "Pay attention." These early warning signs, chest pressure, breathlessness, arm, shoulder, neck or jaw pain, dizziness, nausea, or cold sweats, often arrive quietly and sporadically, lulling us into a dangerous sense of false security. But if these sensations last for more than a few minutes or recur repeatedly, it's time to stop doubting and start acting. The very second you suspect that your heart might be under attack, your immediate priority must be to call emergency services, 911, without hesitation. Do not wait to see if the discomfort subsides. Do not try to drive yourself to the hospital. And do not brush off the possibility as a mistake. Every minute your heart muscle goes without sufficient oxygen adds damage and increases the risk of life-threatening complications. Paramedics racing toward you bring not only rapid transport, but also vital interventions. Medications to dissolve clots, defibrillators to restart a failing heart, and trained hands to manage your airway and vital signs. Remember Linda, who at 78 felt an inexplicable ache in her left shoulder and a sudden cold sweat. She recalled a nurse's advice to always call 911 first and talk to family later. That single phone call, placed without delay, likely spared her life. Once emergency services are alerted, the next action within your power is to chew an aspirin, slowly and thoroughly. Unless you have a known allergy or are on a strict blood thinner regimen that contraindicates aspirin, a standard 325 milligrams tablet can play a pivotal role by inhibiting platelet aggregation and slowing the growth of blood clots in your coronary arteries. Chewing the aspirin rather than swallowing a whole enables faster absorption into your bloodstream, effectively buying you critical extra minutes of improved blood flow. Picture Joe at 72, who one morning recognized the spreading tightness and instinctively reached for an aspirin bottle in his kitchen cabinet. He sat down, chewed a tablet, and waited for help. His cardiologist later confirmed that this simple action likely lessened the severity of his heart damage. To maximize preparedness, keep aspirin within arm's reach, in a kitchen drawer, beside your favorite recliner, or in your bedside table, and inform loved ones about its location so they can assist if you become incapacitated. With the emergency responders on their way and an aspirin working through your system, your body's next imperative is to conserve energy by sitting or lying down as still as possible. Avoid pacing, tidying up, or unlocking doors unless absolutely essential. Any additional exertion demands oxygen your heart can't spare. Ideally, find a sturdy chair with back support. Place your feet flat on the floor and rest your arms loosely to reduce strain on your heart. If you feel lightheaded, transition to lying on your side with your head slightly elevated to maintain airway patency and ease breathing. Some may feel embarrassed or restless, feeling the urge to do something. But in this moment, doing nothing is exactly the right choice. Let your body focus on the singular task of keeping your heart beating until professional help arrives. Alice, 81, learned this the hard way when she felt pressure radiate across her chest. Instead of cleaning her kitchen as initially planned, she remembered her doctor's advice, sank into her favorite recliner, and remained motionless. That stillness likely prevented her condition from deteriorating into full cardiac arrest. If you retain enough strength after stabilizing your position, take the extra step of unlocking your front door. It may seem trivial, but in an emergency, even seconds can determine outcomes. Paramedics carry equipment, stretchers, and monitors, and a locked door forces them to break entry, potentially startling you or causing unintended injury if you're near the entrance. Paul, 76, made a point of unlocking his door within 2 minutes of placing his 911 call. When the paramedics arrived, they credited that small action with saving them 30 seconds, time Paul's heart might not have had to spare. To ensure your home is ready, assess door locks and consider a smart lock with remote access or a medical lockbox that houses your key, particularly if mobility issues make moving dangerous. Plan these logistics before an emergency arises, so you're not scrambling when every second is precious. As you wait, leverage your phone fully by switching to speaker mode. Holding a phone up to your ear may seem natural, but when you're under stress, it can exacerbate breathlessness and distract you from focusing on steady breathing. Speaker mode frees your hands, lets dispatchers hear background cues like labored breathing or confusion, and allows them to provide real-time guidance on how to position yourself or manage symptoms. Beyond that, ensure your phone's emergency medical ID is set up and accessible from the lock screen. On both iPhone and many Android devices, this feature displays critical information: your name, date of birth, medical conditions, medications, allergies, and emergency contacts without unlocking the phone. Susan, at 79, collapsed just before paramedics arrived, but her phone's medical ID informed responders that she was diabetic and allergic to penicillin, steering them away from harmful treatment options and allowing them to call her emergency contact immediately. While all these measures are in play, your breath becomes your strongest ally against panic and escalating heart rate. Controlled, mindful breathing stabilizes your nervous system, can reduce the likelihood of dangerous arrhythmias, and helps you maintain enough composure to follow through on the steps you've already taken. A simple technique involves inhaling slowly through your nose for a count of 4, holding that breath momentarily, then exhaling gently through your mouth for a count of 6. By anchoring your attention to this rhythm, you provide your body with a steady pattern that helps curb surges of adrenaline and keeps your heart from racing uncontrollably. Frank, 83, described the excruciating fear he felt when chest pain gripped him like a vice. But remembering a breathing exercise taught by his cardiologist, he focused on each measured inhalation and exhalation. When paramedics arrived, his heart was irregular but stable, and he attributes his survival to those controlled breaths. Beyond these immediate actions, it's important to prepare yourself mentally and practically before any crisis occurs. Familiarize yourself with the layout of your home, so you know the fastest route to a phone and a safe sitting area. Place visual reminders, sticky notes, a small list on your fridge, or an emergency steps card on your nightstand that outline the sequence. Recognize symptoms. Call 911, chew aspirin, sit or lie down, unlock door, switch to speaker, focus on breathing. Practice this flow mentally so that if the moment ever arrives, you're not scrambling to remember what to do next. If you live with a partner, friend, or caregiver, discuss these steps with them and designate roles. Who calls for help, who fetches aspirin, who stays on cleanup if there are hazards to remove. Even if you live alone, sharing your plan with a trusted neighbor or relative enhances your safety net. They can periodically check in on you and ensure your home remains optimized for emergency response. It may also help to enroll in a basic first aid and CPR course. While the steps we've outlined are focused on self-rescue, understanding how CPR works and how to use an automated external defibrillator, AED, can empower you to assist others in your community. Many community centers, hospitals, and nonprofit organizations offer classes at minimal or no cost. These training sessions not only teach you physical techniques, but also reinforce the mindset of calm, purposeful action under pressure, exactly the mentality you need if you ever face a heart attack alone. Regular health maintenance plays a crucial role as well. Schedule annual checkups that include cholesterol panels, blood pressure measurements, and, if appropriate, stress tests or cardiac imaging. Discuss your risk factors: family history, smoking, diabetes, obesity, sedentary lifestyle, and work with your healthcare provider to develop a personalized plan to mitigate those risks. Lifestyle modifications can be remarkably effective. Adopting a Mediterranean diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fish, and olive oil, engaging in moderate aerobic exercise, such as brisk walking for at least 150 minutes per week, and avoiding tobacco and excessive alcohol. Managing stress through mindfulness, yoga, or meditation can lower blood pressure and reduce harmful inflammation in your cardiovascular system. By committing to these preventive measures, you not only reduce your likelihood of experiencing a heart attack, but also equip your body with greater resilience should one occur despite your best efforts. Remember, every minute during a heart attack counts. The aggregate of small actions, recognizing the subtle whispers of distress, calling 911 immediately, chewing aspirin to slow clot formation, conserving oxygen by sitting or lying down, unlocking your door to expedite paramedics, using speaker mode and medical ID features on your phone, and slowing your breathing to steady your heart, creates a chain of survival that dramatically shifts the odds in your favor. It turns what can feel like utter helplessness into a plan of empowered self-rescue. Now, take a moment to reflect on which of these steps resonates most with you. Was there a precaution you'd never considered before, like unlocking your door or using speaker mode? Or perhaps the importance of chewing aspirin rather than swallowing a whole clarified a detail you previously overlooked? How might you integrate these actions into your daily routine or share them with friends, family members, or neighbors who might also live alone or spend significant time by themselves? Knowledge is powerful, but it only saves lives when acted upon. If you found these insights valuable, please like this video and consider subscribing for more essential life-saving guidance. Share this information with someone you care about. You never know whose life it might save. Thank you for listening. Stay prepared and see you in the next video.